it's not only about the cost, but the capacity to grow. You can have a lower margin, but with the volume that you're able to deliver, diba? You can grow your company faster than the others. Yun
Mm.
yung realization. And then the brand equity will come in kasi people will believe that you can deliver a better job eh.
Mm.
So yung cost that you might be incurring now will eventually augment your brand because of your brand. Every asset that we will be building or developing, we want to make sure it's first world kasi
Mm.
you don't first world naman ang it doesn't have to be always so expensive.
So, hi everyone. What's interesting about the stock market is that you don't just have the largest companies there that are listed, but you also have the greatest minds in the industry running and making those companies go in full throttle. In this video, we have a very, very special guest. He's currently the chairman and chief executive officer of Megawide. We have Edgar Saavedra joining us in the show. Edgar, it's an honor. I'm a fan. Thank you for joining us.
It's my honor, Marvin. Finally,
How are you doing in the midst of this pandemic? How has everything progressed? Also, 2 years leading into this.
you know naman, I'm in the office right now. So in spite of pandemic, we're working. So although there are challenges, we need to set so many protocols to make sure the operation of the business can still go on, no, in spite of the pandemic. So many challenges, especially in the airport. Traffic, no, is very low. But in terms of construction, so there are many challenges. Commodity prices going up, so we need to renegotiate with clients. But well, ultimately, you just have to work harder. You have double time, triple time. You just have to negotiate further with your vendors, negotiate with your client, and then come up with all sorts of protocols so that you can still operate your business, run your business in spite of people are working from home. But of course, do you have people on the site that are really working on site naman because they cannot do work from home? But you have to come up some like bubble system, like pag naka on-site sila. So you just have to provide all the facilities, all the amenities para naman they can work comfortably and safely.
Got it. And it's good to see that while all of this is happening, great companies know how to pivot and adjust. And seeing you doing that makes it super exciting that when all of this is behind us, companies that have built the right foundation come out of the gates running. But before that, I am sure a lot of people who are watching want to know this. What's the heart on why you actually started Megawide? Why did you bring it into existence from a construction company now to being a conglomerate dabbling into different things as well?
I came from Mindanao, no. I'm from Zamboanga, and then we have my family, no, both my parents, they're entrepreneurs. We have family business, so I was brought up in an environment wherein we help our parents running the business, even during grade school, high school. So that is my background eh. And then I took up civil engineering course in LaSalle. So obviously, after my studies, I worked for less than a year in a design firm to do structural design in construction. Then eventually, I already put up Megawide Construction, but we started as really very small company, doing construction finishes, constructing houses of our friends and families and relatives. So yan yung pinaka-background. So basically, it started more of like a basic entrepreneur, ganun lang. Then as we grow the company, and at that time pala, Marvin, it was a Asian financial crisis.
Wow.
But at that time, nung kakagraduate ko lang, sabi ko naman, maraming nga nagsasabi, ba't ka pa nag-start crisis? Sabi ko, what is it for me to lose? If you have nothing to lose, you start from zero naman eh.
Wow.
Diba? So yun lang. So when we were starting the business, so yun lang, we were growing the business until we didn't realize na lumalaki kami. No? Then that's why na before we went public 2011, mga 3 years ago, napansin na ng mga ibang kalaban namin, ibang competitors that we were already participating in a big projects and we were able to outwin them, no? So nagugulat na sila. And then I didn't realize also that at that time that we were very innovative compared to them. Now, yun naman yung good side, no, Marvin, kasi I didn't have any experience from working outside, so I didn't have anything yung, alam mo yung kasabihan sila, you have to unlearn yung mga bad habits sa industry, ngayon ganon. I didn't have that problem because I didn't have any experience from working from other companies. And then I just realized that recently that it's because for the longest time, Philippines, no, generally, naman Philippines, we came from martial law 1974 and then 1986, revolution naman natin. So construction at that time was really so low, walang opportunity. So in fact, that's why Megawide have the chance to be able to compete with the big contractors kasi konti lang yung players eh. That was also the advantage. After we went public, no, Marvin, 2011, yung previous administration naman invited all public private sectors, including mga construction companies. So we actively participated in most of these PPP projects of the government. And dun kami, that's where we were able to prove ourselves to deliver the product at a low cost, good quality. We started with building 10,000 classrooms. We participated also in bidding with the Mactan Cebu International Airport, since we were able to get a partner who have expertise on that. So yun na. Then after that, we also participated in this bus terminal PITX na project. Ito na, until we were able to develop that skills, we were able to develop the network, we were able to develop the financial capabilities. That's how we were able to grow our company from purely construction to a infrastructure developer.
That's a very, very inspiring story. Starting everything from scratch and now to being the conglomerate of where you are right now. When you were relatively small versus the bigger players, what was going through your head that, okay, I know Megawide has what it takes to be able to not just compete with the bigger ones or the older ones, but also somehow leapfrog or beat them in certain projects as well. I'm asking your mindset behind it and looking at it from a company as well. What was the biggest edge of Megawide at that time?
I wanna be honest, no? Wala namang edge eh. I think ang edge lang siguro, Marvin. Alam mo yung right attitude, kasi you are smaller than them, di ba? But if you have that confidence and right attitude, of course, when you have the right attitude, normally it's not about, hindi naman kulang naman yan, you just aspire, diba? The aspiring, only the step 1 lang yan eh. The bigger work is really on performing your work. Yung having the tenacity, the grit, the all this hard work, yun yung pinakamahirap eh. I'm not scared yung venturing into something kasi ever since when I was a child until yung nag-college ako, until nag-start yung Megawide, I'm able to find a way how to survive, how to go through all these challenges eh. So, in fact, ako pag sobrang wala nang challenges, nabobore na ako eh.
But I see that in a lot of very, very successful entrepreneurs that it's not really about the money, but doing something that's fulfilling, yung grind of being able to create and build something. And that's what makes them a cut above the rest, that when you do something kasi you like the challenge, you enjoy it, that's what makes you even better. And is that what's happening to you also right now?
Yeah, totoo lang. Without me even knowing it, kasi even people are asking me na even yung mga friends, even sister ko, lahat tinatanong. Sabi ko, wala. I mean, I don't just do it just for the sake of money. Wala, I can only eat 3 times a day. So, I cannot buy so many clothes. So, hindi naman ako mahilig sa mga expensive na gamit. So, but hindi na yun eh. It's not about that. It's more of you just want to do things. Ganun lang. Fortunately kasi Marvin, most of the challenges, yung mga ventures that I went in, even editing, kahit hindi sa business, naman I'm able to strive and overcome all the challenges. And yun yung fulfilling dun, di ba?
When you look at it also from a business standpoint, that's what business really is eh. So when solving a lot of problems, and then when you solve a lot of problems, you give value, and then when you give value, that's where the money comes in, and that's what you're actually doing. What you're doing right now is solving a lot of our infrastructure problems in the country.
Exactly. Ganun lang. The difference lang siguro, Marvin, is I did realize that you keep on doing it until you realize that, you have grown the company, marami na pala kayo, and then you're able to compete with the big players. Diba? But I always, right now, lalo na, when I reach yung mga 40 years old, I always study yung macro. I'm looking more of the macro. Unlike yung mga 20 years ago when I started, mas mas tactical lang, di ba? So ngayon, at least if you look at the players in the industry, the business sector, if you look at the history of Philippines last 30-40 years ago and now and where we're heading, yun kailangan mo rin siya tingnan di ba? Kasi it has something to do with the politics, with the industry, and also with my age, with my capability, and with the competition, di ba? Ganun lang. So ako, feeling ko kasi right now, Philippines, there are plenty of opportunities in Philippines because we have the 100 million Filipinos. Yun yung pinaka gold mine natin. So we have, if you have the right volume of populations, and then ang dami nating backlog ng infrastructure, ang dami nating problema dito sa Philippines. But from a businessman points of view, dapat opportunity to. These are all things that you can make business. Kaya din, Marvin, sabi ko nga, I want to encourage din mga new players and mga new entrepreneurs na dapat din sila. I mean, I want them to come out and then venture into business kasi we need Philippines really need more industry players, more entrepreneurs kasi kulang Alam mo naman, we have more than 12 million of Filipinos working outside of the Philippines. Bakit? Walang opportunity They have to go outside to work outside. Pero ang nakakalungkot lang is we have liquidity. If you talk to the local banks, ang dami. Pero kulang yung opportunities. Paano? Kulang ng players Kulang ng players, kulang ng mga industry leaders. So we need, in terms of ratio, we need more industry leaders who can create jobs, who can create business, who can help our government build all of these infrastructures.
Wow. I want to circle into something that you really said about starting your own business, about being an entrepreneur. Did you know it already at the start na hindi talaga gusto ko talaga maging entrepreneur. I just want to build my own ladder instead of climbing someone else's ladder. Was it something that parang ito na talaga gagawin ko habang buhay?
Yes, kasi nga I came from from a family of 'di ba, yung family who runs a family business. So even college pa lang ako, ang mindset ko noon, I will have my own business.
Got it. I wanna talk about your projects. You talked about earlier about solving problems, and what Megawide is doing is solving a lot of the problems that we have in infrastructure, connecting the country together. What are the things in your current pipeline, and then what are the things that's currently ongoing right now, and then what things that we could possibly see happen also in terms of your projects as well?
I'll group it into 3 buckets kasi Megawide right now into different businesses. The first one is the construction. So right now, construction, Marvin, what we did, we shifted our focus into sectors where it's more pandemic resilience. Example, kasi Megawide we started, 'di ba, mas we do a lot of commercial, retail, buildings, a lot of buildings, construction. Now, because of this pandemic, and then with the opportunity also with all of this project of JICA, ADB, so yung metong rail project, subway, MRT, rail projects. So we want to focus into this sector kasi we know naman the government will really push for this project to spur the economy, So luckily we were able to win we got one of the projects in going to Clark, yung Malolos Clark Railway. We won one package with a Korean partner, Then we are also participating, and we won also one of the subway package naman together with two Japanese companies, but we're still waiting for the official award. So in terms of construction, we focus on this infrastructure, and then we are also focusing on the affordable housing segment, because we know this housing segment is also parang more resilient to pandemic, kasi there is really demand naman in the housing sector, especially the affordable housing. And then also infrastructure such as the utility, like doing this sewage treatment plan, water treatment plan. So in terms of construction, this is our focus. I want to add naman on the other side. On the other side naman, as developer of infrastructure, we're into terminal operations. We have the PITX. Now we want to expand similar type of assets, wherein we will have terminal, operating a terminal, but in a different cities. This one naman, we're working with different LGUs in developing this kind of asset, because we have noticed also, even during pandemic, this is turning out to be resilient, even pandemic. And then the last one naman, so airport. For us naman, airport, we know, ito ang talagang tinamaan ng pandemic. So this one naman, for us, we'll just, right now, wala muna kaming, airport. The only way we're doing now, we're trying to streamline the operation to make it efficient. Doon lang muna kami. So we focus on those businesses that are more pandemic resilient.
Got it. I want to ask this, because noticing your projects, from the bus terminal stations to the airport, it's very excellent, and it just from my opinion, it looks very first world like in terms of paano siya nagawa. Was that the vision also, that to build something that's world class, so that Filipinos also, it's not just more comfortable, more efficient, but they get a taste of how it is also in different countries, na makikita din nila sa Pilipinas yon?
Yes. Kaya nga we developed that vision, yung first world Philippines, Marvin. Kasi even when we were doing our construction, even before, we were investing or using German, Japanese equipment. At that time, marami nagsasabi ng mga kalaban, paano nila nagagawa yan? Why are they able to afford to utilize all these expensive technologies? And then, na-realize namin, kaya naman eh. So, and then, the bigger realization is really, it's not only about the cost, but the capacity to grow. You can have a lower margin, but with the volume that you're able to deliver, diba? You can grow your company faster than the others. Yun yung realization. And then the brand equity will come in, kasi people will believe that you can deliver a better job eh. So yung cost that you might be incurring now will eventually augment your brand because of your brand. So yun yung That's why now we realize that every asset that we will be building or developing, we want to make sure it's first world, kasi first world naman, it doesn't have to be always so expensive. Diba? It doesn't have to be always expensive. I think what is more important in the first world is that don't do or build anything that is shabby or substandard. Yun lang naman eh. You make sure, kasi in the end, we have a moral obligation, diba? We want to build something that is safe. We want to build something that is presentable, diba? Nakakahiya naman yun eh. So for us, it's not about making just beautiful, it's making it at least not substandard. Kasi for the longest time, we have Philippines, kasi we have so many projects, especially the public infrastructure, and so many projects that are substandards. Yun, and we don't want that. So kaya sabi namin, we want to make sure we really need to build first world facilities.
And that's very, very admirable to parang push the bar, change the status quo, na pag Pilipinas, hindi lang yung normal tendency for Filipinos na, hindi, okay na yan, to do something that's excellent. I think that's something that a lot of companies also should follow, and a lot of inspiring entrepreneurs na gustong pumasok dito, that don't just do something that parang is normal, do something already that will be totally different because it's so good.
If you look at the construction right now, Marvin, all of these infrastructure projects are practically bigger. One ticket, one project will have like roughly around 15 to 25 billion in size. So typically for our yung mga existing projects, we normally have 2 to 3 billion in one project. So it's bigger, although the duration is longer, like 4 years, 5 years, but in terms of size, it's bigger. So yung changes siguro sa construction, will have a bigger order book, but a longer duration. And then we are able to maximize our resources, our people, because mas malaki yung revenue namin.